Hi everybody, happy holidays. I wanted to get back into some card making. I know Christmas is over, so we need to get back into the grind here. So I was playing with the new Hero Arts release. I just got this Mandala bold prints background stamp. And I also got for Christmas some Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. See that? So, we're going to make this cute little card here. Very simple to do. So, how we're going to start out is I have the stamp mounted in the Tim Holtz stamp positioner, and you can see here it says rubber, and that's because this is a rubber cling stamp, not a clear stamp, so you want the word rubber up, not clear. Okay? And I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor cardstock on the smooth side. So not the textured side, the smooth side. And we're going to line that up over here, and we're going to put our magnets in the bottom corners. See where I had that? I think I had it up actually a little higher. There you go, right there. Okay. And we are using our Versamark clear sticky ink to ink that up. And because it's very thick watercolor paper, you really want to make sure you got a lot of ink on there. Close the door, stamp it down. And I'm just going to kind of tilt it here to see if I can make sure there's good coverage. That looks pretty good to me. I know it's hard to tell, so it's just kind of shining off in the light there. Alright. Move that guy to the side. We have our Ranger Clear Embossing Powder here. And I'm just going to grab it in the corner here where it was not stamped. Sometimes you have to stamp detailed images like this a couple of times, especially on watercolor paper because it is textured. Even though we're stamping it on the smooth side, these are very fine line details in this stamp. And I just realized I forgot to use my anti-static powder tool, and it's sitting right here in front of me. And I can see some little extra bits. Let me see if I can flick those off. Alright, I think I got most of it covered here. Alright. So we're going to take the heat tool and heat emboss this. Alright, I think I got most of it. Hold on. Alright, so then we're just going to take our markers and color it in. So I know it's hard for you guys to not be able to see that on the camera, but Now all the stamped images are raised, and we're just going to color them in. So a couple ways you can do it. I like to start with the lighter colors first, and fill in like some of the larger areas. And it doesn't have to be neat because it has almost that watercolor look to it. And I like these pens because they are a brush, and they have that really subtle shimmer in there. So when it's done, it's very sparkly without having to put extra glitter on it. Then you're going to go in with the darker colors and just fill in where you want those. By the way, these sparkle pens have been picked up from various different places. Usually I find them at AC Moore in a 3-pack. And I want to say they are $13 or $14, but then I use my 50% off coupon so I can get a 3-pack for like $7. I know there are various other online retailers you can get them at as well. So by starting with the lighter color, by putting the darker color on top, there's less likely to be any kind of bleeding. Whereas if I had started with a darker color and then put the lighter color over it, there might have been some bleeding with that. And that's all I'm going to do here, guys, is just color it in. Now, if you want more of a muted, watered down look, you can spray this down or use a regular water brush. And actually, if you keep these pens when they wear out, like I have some old Wink Estella ones here, and just refill them with water, you can reuse them. I do have a water brush here somewhere amongst my things. Here we go. And you can actually go in with some brighter colors, and if you want to tone them down, you can use a little water brush and pull that color out, because it is on watercolor paper and these are water soluble. They paint very nicely and pull that color out nicely. You can see that heat embossing is resisting. And giving us that nice watercolor look. And you can see that it's going to be colorful. It's fun. I'm not like paying attention to stay in the lines or anything. I'm just having fun with it. And I get a nice gradient of that ink color, nice ombre effect there from darker to lighter, just from adding water and pulling that down in. And because it's on watercolor paper, it dries very quickly. Now, if you wanted it to stay wet longer, you would just wet that area down with water before you put your color on, and then it would stay wet a little longer and travel for you. The ink would move down the paper a little bit more. But you can see it comes out pretty neat there. And then you just keep going and keep filling it in. So now because I did the yellow, some of that green might mix in there, but that's okay. It'll give us that nice watercolored effect. Alright, so you guys get the idea. So then all I did was, after I was done coloring it in, I just went over it again with the heat tool just to make sure that it was dry. If your watercolor paper warps, there's a couple things you can do. You can put it on foam backing. So like this is that fun foam the kids play with. I bought the adhesive kind. So you can put it on there and then mount it on your card. The other thing you can do is, I love using this Tombow Extreme adhesive. This stuff is super strong, and just attach that to the card. Put it on every edge and then across the middle there just to give it some stability. Oh, I would normally cut this down, but I didn't do that in this case. And then put it on the card, so I'm just going to put it on the card here. I forgot to cut my panel down, but that's okay. It'll look pretty. And then with the extra black paper I have, you can just stamp a sentiment, put that on the card, or if you have some die cut sentiments, like I thought thanks or hello would look good on here. And then you have a nice colorful, almost watercolored look mandala painted with sparkle pens. And I wish you guys could see the shimmer. I know the camera doesn't pick it up, but it's a very nice shimmer, almost like eyeshadow, very light shimmer. And some bright colors. So there is our quick and easy card for today, guys, using the Spectrum Noir shimmer markers, shimmer pens. You could also use watercolor markers and do the same technique. When you're done coloring with the watercolor markers, then you could go over with a clear sparkle pen. So these come in a 3-pack of clear, and all you do is you remove this ring in the center. You take that off. They all come this way. You screw the lid back on. Once you get it poked in, there we go. Screw the top back in, and then you shake it a few times and just squeeze it to activate it, and then that clear shimmer will come out for you. And it's the same with all the markers, actually. And then once it's primed, you can see there, you don't need to do anything again. And then you could watercolor this with regular watercolor markers, your brush markers, your zig markers. There are, regular watercolor markers or distress markers. You could color that in and then just go over it with the clear shimmer pen. So there we go, guys. Quick and easy card. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, post them below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and keep on stamping.